Beep, 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 beep. Jester, news, subscribe. Buy me a coffee if you can buy me a coffee. Please do. If you can send me a super thanks or whatever, please do. Become a warrior teacher if you'd like to. Let's go. Let's go, right? Because, you know, I'm fed up with this woman. Let's talk about Penny Mordaunt. I knew it. When she ran for not president, bloody hell, God help us, hey, can you imagine? When she ran to be Prime Minister, I was all over Twitter screaming, don't trust this woman an inch, right? Don't trust her an inch. And lo and behold, it turns out you can't trust her an inch. And we have the proof from her own lips, right? Her own lips. This is the woman who looked like the Queen of Hearts, the Queen of Hearts. You remember the sword at the coronation? She looked lovely, actually. She looked grand. It was an amazing vision to see. Unfortunately, the packaging is a lot better than the actual product. Isn't that right, Penny? So we have something that I'm going to do. I'm going to read from Gay Times. I don't normally do this because I don't like Gay Times, because it isn't. It's LGBTQI plus hands, knees, and bump to daisy times. Really, aren't you? Gay Times. Yep. So here we have it by Connor Clark. I don't know who that is. We've got enough things to worry about. Penny Mordaunt MP speaks out against the culture wars. What you've got here, and Penny takes a particular position. So I'm sort of like, end it all, right? And then you've got other people in the middle going, but there's a compromise somewhere, right? And then you've got other people on the other side going, sex doesn't matter, end the hegemony of heteronormativity, right? They're over there somewhere. And then you've got Penny floating about in the ether going, nothing to see here. No, don't believe your eyes, nothing to see. No, that's not happening. Look over there, squirrels. That's Penny, right? Okay, so let's see what Penny's been up to, shall we? This woman. Penny Mordaunt, a Conservative MP and leader of the House of Commons, has spoken out against so-called culture wars. Dear God Almighty, they still won't admit it exists. These Gay Times people live in a London-centric bubble, I'm sure. She has spoken out against the so-called culture wars and the vilification of transgender people. During an appearance on the BBC's Political Thinking with Nick Robinson podcast, Mordaunt was asked about the deep electoral hole. I'm not going there. About the deep electoral hole the Tories are in, and whether or not she thinks the way to get out is to be anti-woke, as others do. Here it comes. I think part of our role is to bring people together. We are more effective as a nation or as a community when we're taking care of each other, when we're pulling together and when we're protecting each other's rights, she told the host. That's literally, in it, fingers and ears. Right? Penny Chamberlain, that's what we should call her. Or Neville Mordaunt. That's what makes us a great nation. And when we're at our best is when we're living those values and we're inspiring others to follow those values. What values is that, Penny? The values that allow men into women's spaces such as rape crisis centres? Or the value that allows men into women's sports so they can steal a place from a woman? Or how about the value of letting women into gay men's spaces to pretend they're gay men and attempt sex by deception? Which values are those, Penny? We've been here before, haven't we, dear? And so, I think the world is a dangerous and an uncertain place, and we've got enough things to worry about than starting spats on Twitter and so forth, or culture wars. Dear God. The care of people who are unable to care for themselves and having that care done by somebody who's female because you're female and you request it is not a Twitter and culture war thing, Penny. You absolute lying scrote. Right? It's not. Okay? The fact that lesbians don't have a bar to go to is nothing to do with Twitter and the culture wars, you lying scrote. You're the worst kind of appeaser. And I'm really glad you didn't get anywhere near the leadership. I don't think you ever should. Right? I'd have you out of government altogether because that's the kind of bastard I am. You know, no. Okay? There are serious and complex social issues. There is nothing serious or complex about the simplicity of man and woman. What is serious is that we have an unreal, anti-science, anti-human, child-mutilating, homophobic and misogynistic cult that you, madam, refuses to condemn. You refuse to condemn it. You've constantly refused to condemn it. You are not to be trusted. Not to be trusted. As I originally said, for goodness sake, do not trust this woman. There are serious and complex social issues, but actually when the public have been left to get on with these things themselves, they develop solutions, they develop norms, and actually most people in this country care about other people and their ability to lead their lives. And so that's always the view I've taken. I think that's one reason why I'm in politics. So let's just analyse what she said there. But actually, when the public have been left to get on with these things themselves, they develop solutions, they develop norms, and actually most people in this country care about other people and their ability to lead their lives. She's saying that we must capitulate to these people who want to lead their lives by lying about their reality and expecting us to lie for them. She's a TRA. She's a trans rights activist. Told you, called it. Don't get mad with me. I was the one that called it, you mad bunch. Robinson then referenced the heavy price Mordaunt has paid for expressing her support for the LGBTQ plus hands, knees and bumps a daisy people so openly. He specifically mentioned the UK's right-wing media outlets routinely running pieces about such issues when she ran to be leader of the Conservative Party last year. The vast majority of people that are bothered by this, the vast majority of people that are involved in this are either centrist or left. The right hasn't even vaguely woken up yet. Hasn't America, not over here. You wait till it wakes up. Penny. You wait till it wakes up. You'll be lucky if you've got a career left when this finishes. Come on, say the truth, Penny. Say it. I think people will conflate all sorts of things. She responded to the talk about supporting the LGBTQ plus hands, knees and bumps of daisy people. I think people will conflate all sorts of things as you responded. My own views have always been very clear on this, and in fact they were very clear throughout the whole leadership contest. I see no incompatibility with being kind and understanding and protecting the ability for trans people to go around and live their lives, with protecting my rights as a woman to privacy and dignity and all of that. A lot of these things I think are a confected situation. There you are, folks, we're making it out. We're making it out. If Rishi Sunak's got any sense, he would expel this woman from the party. Because that's what I'd do, expel her. Let her go and join Labour. Expel her from the party. Mordaunt, who has an openly gay twin brother, has previously been seen as an LGBTQ plus hands, knees and bumps a daisy ally in government, and in 2018 stated that trans women are women and trans men are men. Get her gone, Sunak. However, her summer leadership campaign cast a shadow over allyship when she shared that she never supported self-ID. The woman's a liar. We're not going to forget, Penny. We're not going to forget, okay? And clarified her belief that trans women are not biological women. There's only one kind of woman, that's the biological kind, right? But can be recognised as women in law. In law, some are, she told LBC at the time. Yeah, we're going to get rid of that. And it's only for certain purposes anyway. It's just a legal fiction. So if it's a legal fiction, we can get rid of it. If it doesn't matter, we can get rid of it. I'm a woman, I'm a biological woman, I'm also legally a woman, and people who have been through the gender recognition process, the gender reassignment, some people will have a birth certificate reissued to them in their new gender. She knows that that's not what we're talking about here. When Robinson asked about the impact on her 2018 comments made on her bid to become Prime Minister, she answered, we're talking about people's rights in law, not biology. That's the difference, and I've been very clear on that. And I think actually that's where the bulk of the public are. It's not. We are talking about not biology. For God's sake! If the reality of our sex bodies does not drive everything, I mean that initial categorization, human, male and female, boy and girl, woman and man. That's it, right? What she's saying is the law can trump that. She's a full-on queer theorist, trans rights activist. I called it. And everybody else thought I was mostly right, I think. I wanted to say wrong then, so I could be gloating. No. There's no incompatibility with colleagues and other members of the public between looking out for somebody and being upset if a particular group of people are being vilified. It goes on and on. It's a sickening article. Have a read. I've stuck it in the dubers. I'm going to put it on the archive thing so you don't have to pay him any bloody money in advertising. It's an absolutely sickening read. Told you about this one before. We've got to watch these people, and then when we watch it, we see what these people are doing, we call them out. No, Penny. We're not living in unreality because you've got a gay twin brother who thinks the LGBTQ hands, knees and bumps and daisy people are okay. No, we're not doing it. It's a sickening article. Go and read it. And I'll see you later. Bye.